Casey Anthony, we saw it live here yesterday, sentenced by the judge in Florida.
But she's getting out of jail like in a week and 2 days. A lot of people are outraged by that. And did you see what she was wearing? Do we have the Casey Anthony Beau? Let's go ahead and roll it. There she is with the long hair, the tight sweater. This is a significantly different image than the one she was putting forward during the trial. She looked like a pilgrim during the trial. Here she's ready to party. We're joined by...
I don't know about, her hair is loose, but, party?
They say she's loose, too. We're joined now by Beau. He is a former New York City cop. He also has a firm called Beau Dietl Associates. Beau, welcome to the show. Welcome back. You're here every Friday to comment on the issues.
Well, I'm glad to be here. First of all, something I got to commend one group of people, the jurors on this, for the fact is they did their job the way a jury's supposed to do their job. They weighed the factual evidence. Now, if she was charged with, I know you're ready to jump on me, if she was charged with negligent homicide, she didn't report a kid gone in 38 days. That's negligent homicide. You don't have to prove how that child was killed or how it possibly died naturally.
Beau, you're telling me they have no responsibility to at least give some consideration to the mob mentality that engulfed America?
Well, why don't we go get him and hang him from a tree?
Well,
you know what?
No,
I'm a former detective, and I'm going to tell you something. I have a lot of respect. I wanted her to be convicted like you, and you wanted her to be convicted as a father of 4 children. But the reality is they weighed the evidence. When you get a piece of tape over a skull, when they say that tape would have covered her nose and her mouth, means that was homicide. That's baloney, because that little girl could have died from heat asphyxiation. She could have died from over-chloroforming her. She could have died a lot of different ways.
Who would chloroform her in the first place?
The mother who doesn't care, a neglectful mother, and she's guilty of negligent homicide as far as I'm concerned. When you don't report a kid missing for 31 days, you lie, but you can't convict somebody on evidence that wasn't there. And them jurors, with all respect to everything, and believe me, I wanted to see her hang high too, but the jury did a very important thing. That's what's so great about this country, is that the jury did their job there. They didn't let that mentality like you just wanted hanging from the tree.
Actually, Beau, I was being devil's advocate there, though, because there was a lot of that. But Ty, go ahead.
Instead of a thank you for this jury, though, they're getting death threats now. Casey Anthony, some people are saying she's lucky she is still in jail because, the mob was out there ready to get her that morning.
Ty, you got to remember, that jury didn't have a problem with it. What were they out, 11 hours or some small amount? They didn't really have there was no dispute there. They all went around the room and they felt the same way. Well, the judge told us to take the evidence and try her without all the ancillary stuff about all the news media, hang her high, hang her low. You want to know something? They did a damn good job, and that's why America's great, is because that jury did on what they had. I wanted to see her convicted. I wanted to see her fry.
Right.
But the jury weighed out and did their job.
I agree with you. I said this before, I wasn't following the case very closely because I assumed she was guilty. But when people like you and people like Alan Dershowitz say that this was a just verdict, I'm okay with that.
Well, you never thought you'd get it from a former detective that used to lock people up for committing crimes. With that said, if the prosecution did it properly and showed all the neglect of that mother, they could have convicted a 1, 2, 3 on the neglect, and it would be negligent homicide. Means that no matter how that child died, whether she over-chloroformed or whatever she did, she lied, you could have put a great case together, we would have convicted her.
Yeah, but then the public gets mad that you're not trying her for
but you want to know
something
about
that.
Situation.
And
Greg, the big thing was when the prosecutors put the tape, she intentionally put it over the nose and mouth, that caused the asphyxiation, that killed her, so it's murder. That's baloney. I don't think it was murder. I think it was an accidental death, and then they didn't know what to do. And when you take the father of a grandchild...
Former police officer, by the way, right?
And the father now, you're trying to make me believe that a little girl dies by accidental cause. Kids drown every day. He takes that little girl, throws her into a woods. You wouldn't do that with a dog. So my point is, if she died of an accidental death, a drowning like they wanted you to believe, he would have called 911. My little granddaughter died. Have a funeral for the little girl. You're going to take a little body and throw it into the weeds like that?
Listen, he backed his daughter up. I just, we wouldn't have been surprised if this went the other way. We really wouldn't have been surprised.
Well, we were all wishing that justice, but you know what? It's not justice was served with what they presented, but our feelings are we want to see him hang.
Beau Dietl, so good to see you every Friday. You see Beau Dietl.
All right,
you want to hire a private eye if you want somebody followed.
Hacketation.
Or you want your computer not hacked.
Not hacked.
He's your guy.
All right.